What's going on, everyone? Gilman back with Live Wealthy, back with our daily Apple update video. Today we'll be taking a look at how the stock traded, some things that happened in the market today, as well as where the stock could be headed into the future. So real quick, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. It takes no more than 5 seconds, but it really helps us out as we are trying to grow the channel. So, wasting no time and getting right into it, taking a look at the one-day chart. Apple overall had a great day. So right off the bat, took a little breather, but then it shot up from all the way from the 114s to the 115s, hitting 116, continued sideways for a little bit, and then made another push up towards the 117s, and then came down again. So actually, let's rewind a little bit. So tested the VWAP once, went right back up, which is something that I really enjoy, because if it was trading up the whole day, then there's the fear of, okay, has it tested the VWAP? Would it go through it? Would it test it and then go right back up? But it tested the VWAP, went right back up to 117. So it tested it and then it went up to higher than it was before, which is definitely a good sign. And then here we saw it kind of just drop down, drop, come a little and then drop again, right? So went all the way from 117s and gave up a lot of the gains for the day, came back right at 114.97, which wasn't too much higher than where it opened at 114.22, and then it rallied back up above the VWAP, and then at the very end gave up again. So what exactly happened, right? And taking a look at this, there were sort of two things that happened halfway in the overall market that caused that huge drop. Actually, let me take a look at SPY for you guys really quick. So SPY was up today, but as we could see, for most of the day it was doing really well, and then we saw the fall, and then we saw that just really bad drop in the matter of like a few minutes, and that was because kind of two things. Moderna came out and publicly said, hey, the vaccine won't be ready before the election, which a lot of people knew, but they came out and said that they are still on track to prove kind of whether or not it's good enough by October, which is great news. And I think a lot of the market knew that's why the reaction wasn't as bad, right? Like we still came out on top by 1.5% today. The other thing, though, is stimulus talks stalling. So Pelosi and Mnuchin, they had a meeting and they came out of the meeting without really deciding anything, which is pretty bad considering we are in the end of September, and starting tomorrow, a lot of airlines lose that aid they were getting, and just overall not good news for the economy. We need the stimulus to pass for our economy to get that money and for things to start recovering, or for airlines to kind of hold on until travel can pick up again, and they really need that assistance. So the fact that they're not able to pass it is definitely not positive news for the economy. The only reason I say that is to say that this wasn't necessarily Apple that dropped. This was the whole market that dropped, and Apple being such a large company, the fear of the two things that I just mentioned kind of carried over into Apple. So just taking a closer look at the price action. So here we have a line, I drew it here, the horizontal line at 113, where we saw it sort of bouncing off of, right? So taking a look at the EMAs on our daily chart, what we saw is, the past couple of days, we've been, so I mentioned this earlier, and this is the same drawing that I had yesterday, right? We were in a downward trending channel all the way until 9/21, September 21st, and then starting September 24th, we started sort of this higher high, higher low, and that's a good thing. But as we see here, this line that I drew, this horizontal trend line, still carries, right? The candle we made had higher highs and higher lows, which is definitely a good sign. Apple is moving in the right direction, but I want to point out that this 113 horizontal line, as I mentioned before, can act as great support for the Apple, at least for now, because it's been tested a couple of times. These three candles, the bottom wick comes right off of that 113, which is great. In terms of the moving average, I talked about it in my video yesterday that we were fast approaching the 50-day moving average, which we were able to, the 20-day moving average, which we were able to break through, which is great, the 115s. Now the next level of resistance that I sort of see, if I were to do a 1 month chart, let me get rid of the indicators really quick. is going up to this 118 levels, because as we can see back on the 15th, we were rejected, and then we were rejected here, and then a few more times here on 9/8. So all that to say, you know, that's sort of the next point to look out for. I honestly wasn't sure what was going to happen today, like I said yesterday in my video, because of the election debate and what came of that. Nothing crazy happened there, as you all know, so, you know, we didn't really move too much based off of that, which is good. But yeah, I was hoping for that move next week, but that's still good. So yeah, so I think, you know, taking a look at our channels again, we do have, again, this higher high, higher low. We could push down just a little bit if I were to draw this out. I don't see it personally happening. I think there is strong support at 113. Even if we dip, it would be a short-term dip. It would be a dip to, I think, maybe a couple dollars down from there. 107, 108s potentially. But, you know, I personally think that this 113 support, this line that I've had drawn for the last couple of days, I think it's sort of been tested a few times and it's held. And that being said, I think the new iPhone comes out in like 2 weeks, and I think they're going to announce it next week. So assuming the market doesn't do some crazy selling off, you know, we should hopefully be good on that front as well. Yeah, that's the one thing I'll say is, you know, if you guys are, you know, trading in this market, just be sure to lock in profits whenever you can, because you honestly don't know what will happen. I was personally in a SPY trade today. Just it was looking good. The chart was looking good, and then this huge drop happened. I mean, it's not really huge. It went from 338 to 335, but in the span that it happened, right, it was kind of scary, and then a similar drop. So always remember to lock in profits when you can. If you maybe buy 2 options, you know, sell one when you get to the target, and then let the other one ride if you think it's going to go farther. But in this choppy market, you know, take what you can off the table. I don't know about you guys, but I would rather have left $1 on the table than to have had a little less than $1, but, you know, waiting for that dollar and then it never comes, and then you lose whatever you had, which has happened a few times to me in this market. So as always, you know, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want us to do any other videos. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.